Good morning. We're doing a 10-week class on the this caricature head. It's going to be a shelf support. It looks like that, and I have the started to rough out like that. As an example, as a finished product, we have this one here completed, and widen it out a bit to give you more of an idea how it stands. So that would support quite a support on top, because you've got a long length on top and a long support here. This hole anchors it in the wall, and this countersunk here, this will anchor it right through into the wall as well. So you remove all the wood on the outside that is not going to be used for anything but the shelf support. That leaves you with the material to work on in order to solve the face. So it's going to be a 10-week course, and hopefully we'll enjoy it. So once again, you're going to have to take at least 3/8 of an inch a piece of wood off of that area that is going to be removed and knocked down. We want to try and get that as smooth as we can later on. And so if you take a look here at this one here, this finished example, you can see by looking down the edge here that all of this material here has to be relieved in order to make the hat stand up. Same on both sides. Alright? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to, first of all, I would suggest using a V-tool to outline the place that you're the piece that you want to leave sitting proud, and then mark on all the way around how much material you want to take off, so that you can take off all this material here and knock it down to create the head. Now, that's going to be a long, tedious process. I'm going to use the V-tool to start, and I'm going to come in just a little bit away from the actual mark and gradually start to take that down. And as I take it down, then I can come in and be right up really tight to it. Keep the V-tool on a turn so that when you come up, that'll be a straight up and down cut where you're going to leave the relief there. So there it is. I've got it roughed out, and you can see all the notches in here, and I've got it all roughed out all the way around the outside of the head. So I used a number 5 20 millimeter to remove it, and a fairly wide V-tool. Okay, and then I want to get rid of all this rough material here. I want to get that about as smooth as I can, and once again, I do not use sandpaper. So what I did was, you can see it on this side here, and it's really quite smooth. Get a better reflection if I get the light on it just right. And what I used to do that was the same basic tool. It's a 20 millimeter, but it's a number 3. And by coming along and smoothing it out with that number 3, you still leave the gouge marks slightly, but it looks an awful lot nicer. It's a lot smoother finish to it. So and then clean up with the V-tool inside here. Try and get this about as level as you can coming in here, because we need the material here to create the shape on the head. Dave was asking me about how this can be so thin here and still provide enough support for whatever you're going to put on top. So just better describe that a little bit more detail, just to give you a bit more information on that. But the pieces that you came with was the one for the face, and then you had these two other pieces here. And you'll notice that I've countersunk all the screws are countersunk, and this one on the front here is down even further. That's where your plug's going to go in eventually. They all got the notches on the end here, just to give it a bit of detail. But the way this works is really simple. This piece here is for the top, and this piece here goes on like that. And the carving then fits in the middle like that. So the idea of this one on here on top is that it'll go right straight through with the long screw that I gave you, and it'll go into the wall. Likewise, it'll anchor in the wall with this one here, and then the cap goes on top of it. So that's basically how it works. And so the finished product looks like that, and it's tremendously strong. On these ones here, I put a bead of glue where it joined on, and just need a little bit of glue. And then when you attach it with the screws, then it really locks it in place. So there's only one screw on the top, two screws on the side, and the two on the top that join the top board to the side board. And that's the way it sits.